So once you've set up your Edmodo page and you've logged in as a teacher, obviously the first thing you're going to want to do is setting up your class groups, as this is really the core of Edmodo, is interacting with class groups and also, as you'll see later on, small groups within classes. So the very first step in terms of getting started is just to select the plus icon, and it literally looks like a plus button, and that's located next to groups on the left side of the panel of your Edmodo homepage. So there'll be two options there, create and join. So obviously you can join groups such as our Edmodo enthusiasts group, which you'll see later on, but obviously you need to be creating the class groups. So you'll select firstly the create option. So then what happens is you need to enter in the group name. I normally just do CTHS Year 9, or you might do 9O, or however you want to identify your class. It doesn't really matter, it's up to you. And then you'll need to select the correct grade or range of grades. Then you get the option to pick a subject area and the subject in the pop-up box that will appear in step 1. So again, this is up to you. You could select all if you wanted. It doesn't really matter, but it's just a way that you can organize groups if you have a lot of different ones. What you then need to do is click create to move on to step number 2. So this is where they ask you to enter your expected group size and a description of your group. So for most, we're probably looking at 26 plus, unless you've got smaller elective classes. There is no limit to how many group members can join, except the group size just lets you track how close you are to having all of your members join. So if you said it was going to be 30 and only 5 kids have joined up, it might just let you know that you probably are missing some group members, which could be handy if you haven't found that out in another way. But this can be changed at any time. Then all you need to do is click finish to create the group, and then you'll have the option of going to the group page. On this group page is the really important detail, which is the 6-digit group code. So that appears on the top right hand side as well as on the left side panel. So this is what you need to give to students to allow them to join the group. It does make it really easy because you just have to write up the code once, and then all of the students can log in using that code. So you can see here now that we've changed the login, and we've got Mary now logging in to my group using that group code. So it's very simple for students. Say you just hit the same plus button and then click join and then find the group. The only thing is that the group codes do automatically lock after 14 days, or you have the option to lock it yourself. So for instance, if you worked in a school full of horrible children where they like to do rebellious pranks, and you put up the group code and then everyone found out and decided to start spamming your Edmodo page, that's why it locks, so that it can't just be indefinitely open. And obviously that's why you might need to lock it and reset the code yourself. But I don't really see that happening at the delightful place that is Cherrybrook. Nevertheless, you can lock it, and then if a student comes late to the school and is new, or for whatever reason needs the group code again, you're always able to just hit reset and it will spit out a new 6-digit code for you. The main thing that you'll need to do in terms of just managing your members is sometimes children are forgetful and they might not know their username, or they might not know their password, or they might not know either. And in that case, when you go under the members tab, you can see all of the students that are in that class, and you can see obviously their full name if they've entered it correctly. Below that is the font that's slightly smaller, and that's their actual username. So if they've just forgotten that, you can tell them from just looking at that. If it's a case of they've forgotten their password, then you need to go over to the other side where it has the more option, and then from there you can reset their password for them, and also kick them out if they're being a brat or anything else. And that is pretty much our delightful guide to groups on Edmodo.